Chinese President Xi Jinping and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin have hailed their strategic ties during their first face-to-face meeting since Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
The meeting took place on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in Uzbekistan. It saw Mr. Putin acknowledge Mr. Xi's concerns over the conflict. During the talks, Mr. Putin criticized the West and took aim at the U.S., saying Washington's attempts to create a unipolar world would fail.
The Russian leader expressed his support for China regarding Taiwan and condemned what he said was U.S. provocations in the Taiwan Strait. President Xi reportedly said he was very happy to meet his, quote, old friend again. Both leaders also spoke of improving their relations and working together for global security.
面对世界之变、时代之变、历史之变，中方愿同俄方一道努力，体现大国担当，发挥引领作用，为变乱交织的世界注入稳定性和正能量。
Мы совместно выступаем за формирование справедливого, демократического и многополярного миропорядка, базирующегося на международном праве и центральной роли ООН.
The Russian leader did not shy away from the elephant in the room. He said he understood the Chinese leader had concerns over the war in Ukraine and praised Mr. Xi for his balanced position on the conflict.
Понимаем ваши вопросы, ваши озабоченности на этот счет. В ходе сегодняшней встречи, конечно, долго разъясним нашу позицию по этому.
The Chinese and Russian leaders last met in February. President Putin was at the Chinese capital for the opening ceremony of the Beijing Winter Olympics. Just a few days later, Russian forces invaded Ukraine. China has denied knowing about the invasion in advance. Beijing also did not condemn the invasion and instead urged both sides to end hostilities.
Rosie Burchard has more on the importance of this meeting for both leaders, especially on the domestic front.
Well, it comes at a crucial time for both of these leaders. Let's start with the Russian side. So it's a tricky time for President Putin because Ukraine is making significant gains on the battlefield, gaining back some territory which was previously occupied by Russian forces. So Russian President Vladimir Putin facing some pressure at home. He's here, perhaps many would say, in a bid to show he still has friends on the international stage and that he can still try to increase trade despite these sanctions as Russia's economy suffers under the weight of those sanctions imposed over this invasion. Meanwhile, for the Chinese side, this is of course the first visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping outside his country since the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. So there, perhaps some observers say this is a bid to show his international clout before some key moments coming up domestically. So this is seen as an important moment for both of these sides as they try to show something to their domestic audiences. But of course, it's a meeting which is being watched the world over as these two powers, Russia and China, appear to be growing closer together, though, as you said, with that caveat of Russia seeming to concede that China is not fully on board, certainly not with its ongoing war in Ukraine.